The Deathworld Council chamber was cold and silent. Tall alien leaders sat around a long white table. Their bodies were covered in heavy armor. Soft lights reflected from metal plates and glowing weapons. Every species in the room had come ready for war. They were waiting for humanity. The doors slowly opened. Humans walked in. They were not wearing armor. They carried no weapons. They wore simple clothes. Some of them were even smiling. The room filled with quiet fear. Council scanners turned on at once. Numbers appeared in the air. Heart rate, bone density, muscle strength. The data shocked everyone. Humans were calm. Their hearts beat slow and steady. Their bodies were dense and strong. One alien general gripped the table. "Why are they not afraid?" he whispered. Another council member hissed. "This is a death world species. They should be shaking." But the humans stood relaxed. One of them leaned back in the chair. Another looked around the chamber with curious eyes, like this place was nothing special. The council leader finally spoke. His voice echoed through the room. "Humans," he said, "you stand before the Deathworld Council. Where is your armor?" The human representative smiled wider. "We didn't think we would need it," he said calmly. The words hit the room like a shockwave. Alien claws tightened, eyes widened, fear spread fast. These humans did not come to beg. They did not come to fight. They came like they already belonged here. For the first time in centuries, the Deathworld Council felt something new. Uncertainty. And somewhere deep inside their armored chests, they felt fear. Because only a species with nothing to prove would dare to smile at a council built on war. A massive star map appeared in the air. At its center was a small blue planet. The name glowed in sharp letters. Earth. The council leader raised a claw. "This is your world," he said. A classified death world. Images began to play. Violent storms ripped cities apart. Ocean swallowed land. Creatures with claws and teeth hunted without mercy. Many council members turned away. No civilized species could survive such chaos. But the humans watched quietly. Records continued. Gravity higher than galactic standard. Constant tectonic movement. Endless conflict. An alien scholar spoke with a shaking voice. "Your planet tries to kill you every day." The human representative nodded. "Yes, it always has." The room fell silent. The council expected fear, regret, anger. Instead, they saw pride. Humans had built cities in storms. They had crossed burning deserts and frozen lands. They had fought predators, and each other, and learned from it. One warlord laughed loudly. "If Earth is so deadly, then why are you smiling?" The human smiled again, but this time it was smaller. Sharper. "Because Earth trained us," he said. "Pain is normal to us. Pressure is normal." Council scanners updated again. Human stress levels remained low. That was when the council understood. Earth was not a prison. It was a forge, and the beings standing before them were not survivors by luck. They were survivors by design. For the first time, the council questioned a dangerous thought. If humans were forged by a death world, what would they be capable of off it? The council decided words were no longer enough. "A trial will be held," the leader announced. Strength must be proven. The chamber changed shape. The floor sank. Thick walls rose around the humans and the watching council members. Warning lights flashed. The first test began. Gravity increased. 1 level above normal. Then 2. Then 5. Alien observers struggled to breathe. Some clutched their armor. Hairline cracks spread across metal suits. The humans shifted their feet. That was all. Gravity climbed higher. A few humans bent their knees slightly. One stretched his neck. Another rolled his shoulders, as if warming up. The council stared in disbelief. "This is impossible," an engineer whispered. The test finally stopped. The gravity lowered. Aliens collapsed into their seats, gasping. Humans stood upright, breathing calmly. But the trial was not over. The walls opened. Combat drones entered the chamber. Sharp metal limbs. Weapons armed. "Survive," the council commanded. The drones attacked. Humans moved. Fast. Precise. Controlled. One human grabbed a drone and slammed it into the floor. Another twisted metal arms until they snapped. Sparks flew. No humans were hurt. No killing blows were used. The drones lay silent and broken. The chamber went quiet. The council had meant to break humanity. Instead, they had revealed something far worse. The humans were still holding back. And that realization scared the council more than any weapon ever could. The council chamber stayed silent for a long time. Broken drones lay scattered across the floor. Smoke rose slowly. No alarms sounded. No cheers followed. The humans no longer smiled. The council leader leaned forward. His voice was careful now. "You have proven strength," he said. "But strength alone does not win wars." A new image appeared in the air. Hundreds of alien warships. Heavy armor. Planet-breaking weapons. "This is power," the leader continued. "Can your kind face this?" The human commander stepped forward. His face was calm, but cold. "We never wanted to," he said. With a small hand motion, the human ships appeared on the display. They were smaller, simple in shape, no visible weapons. Alien generals laughed. Then their laughter stopped. Alien systems began to fail. Sensors went blind. Weapons shut down. No shots were fired. The warships drifted helplessly in space. Human technology did not overpower. It controlled. The human commander spoke again. "War is loud," he said. "We prefer silence." The council understood then. Humanity did not win by force alone. They won by planning, by patience, by restraint. The smiles faded because the lesson was over. This was no longer a test. It was a warning, and the council realized something terrifying. If humans ever chose war, there would be no battle, only an ending. The council waited. They expected demands, territory, power, control. That was how strong species always acted. The human delegation stood quietly. No threats were spoken. No weapons were shown. Finally, the council leader asked, "What does humanity want?" The room felt heavy. The human commander answered slowly. "Stability." The council was confused. Humans explained. War slowed progress. Fear weakened unity. Endless fighting destroyed worlds that could be saved. Humanity had learned this lesson the hard way, on their own planet. They showed images of Earth again. Not storms or war this time. Cities rebuilt. Enemies turned allies. Hands helping hands. "We are not perfect," the human said. "But we adapt." Humanity offered trade routes, shared defense, medical knowledge, disaster aid. No chains. No forced rule. The council whispered among themselves. A species strong enough to dominate, choosing not to. That was rare. That was dangerous. And that was hopeful. The council voted. Humanity was accepted, not as subjects, not as conquerors, but as protectors. As the meeting ended, one alien general watched the humans leave. "They came smiling," he said quietly. And somehow, another replied, "That scared us more than war." Because the galaxy now knew the truth. Humanity could destroy, but instead, they chose to guide. Years passed. The galaxy changed. Trade routes once ruled by fear became safe. Border wars faded. When disasters struck, human ships arrived first, not with weapons, but with help. The Deathworld Council still met, but its tone was different now. Where once there was armor and threats, there was trust. Humanity never ruled the council. They did not sit above others. They stood beside them. Young alien species studied human history. They learned how Earth had shaped them, how pain had taught patience, how survival had taught restraint. Humans became advisors, peacekeepers, guardians, and yet, they remained simple. They wore plain clothes. They laughed easily. They smiled often. An old council member once asked a human diplomat, "Why do you still smile, after all you have seen?" The human thought for a moment. "Because we survived," he said. "And survival taught us what matters." The galaxy remembered that day long ago. The day aliens came armored for war. And humanity came smiling, not because they were weak, but because they were strong enough to choose peace. On 1,000 worlds, the story was told again and again. Never fear the species that shouts. Fear the one that smiles, and still holds back. The end.